They say one decision can change your whole life. For Marcus Johnson, a hardworking single dad, that decision came on the morning of the biggest job interview of his life. Marcus had been raising his 8-year-old daughter, Layla, alone ever since his wife passed away years earlier. Every day was a struggle, balancing odd jobs, keeping food on the table, and making sure Layla got the childhood she deserved. On this day, Marcus was dressed sharper than ever, a freshly ironed shirt, worn but polished shoes, and a resume he had stayed up all night perfecting. The job interview he was heading to wasn't just any job. It was for a managerial position at a logistics company, one that promised stability, good pay, and benefits that could finally secure Layla's future. As he hurried through the city streets toward the bus stop, Marcus rehearsed answers in his head. Tell us about your leadership style. What makes you the right fit for this company? He was ready, or so he thought. Then he saw her. On the corner of a busy street, a well-dressed woman in her 40s stood by her car, clearly struggling. The hood was open, smoke rising from the engine, and she looked utterly lost. Pedestrians rushed by, too busy to stop. A few glanced, but nobody offered help. Marcus slowed his pace. His heart told him to stop, but his mind screamed, "You'll be late for the interview. This is your one shot." He glanced at the bus pulling up just ahead. If he missed it, he'd likely be late. Layla's little voice echoed in his memory. "Daddy, you always tell me we should help people when we can." With a sigh, Marcus made his choice. He turned toward the woman. "Ma'am, you need some help?" he asked. She looked up, a bit startled, but relief washed over her face. "Oh my goodness, yes. The car just died and I have no idea what I'm doing." Marcus smiled softly. "Don't worry. I know my way around engines. Let's take a look." And just like that, Marcus walked away from the bus and from the interview that could have changed his life. Little did he know, this choice would change it even more. Marcus rolled up his sleeves and got to work. The woman introduced herself as Rebecca, though Marcus didn't think much of it at the time. Rebecca watched him work with growing curiosity. Most people she knew wouldn't stop for anyone, especially not for free. But here was this man, clearly on his way somewhere important, patiently checking hoses, oil levels, and the engine. "You seem like you know what you're doing," Rebecca said. Marcus chuckled. "Well, I've had my share of broken-down cars. Single dad life. You learn to fix things yourself." Rebecca tilted her head. "Single dad." "Yeah," Marcus replied, tightening a loose connection. "It's just me and my daughter, Layla. She's my whole world. Everything I do for her." Something in the way he said it struck Rebecca deeply. Minutes later, Marcus had the car running again. Rebecca clapped her hands in delight. "You're amazing. I don't know how to thank you." Marcus wiped his hands on his pants, smiling faintly. "No need. Just help someone else when you get the chance." But then Rebecca noticed his wristwatch. It was old, cracked, and the time was wrong. "Wait," she said. "You were heading somewhere, weren't you?" Marcus froze. "Yeah, I had a job interview. But, well, looks like I missed it." Rebecca's heart dropped. She could see the disappointment flicker across his face even as he tried to hide it. "You gave that up to help me?" she asked softly. Marcus shrugged. "Some things are more important. Jobs come and go. But people matter." Rebecca was stunned. In her world of million-dollar deals and corporate boardrooms, she rarely met anyone who thought like that. She offered him a ride, and though Marcus was hesitant, he finally accepted. The two talked on the drive, and Rebecca grew more curious with every passing minute. She wasn't ready to reveal who she was yet, but she knew this man was special. Later that day, Marcus sat on the couch, staring at the rejection email on his phone. "Dear Mr. Johnson, we regret to inform you." His chest tightened. That job could have changed everything. Layla bounced onto the couch beside him. "Daddy, how was the interview?" Marcus forced a smile. "Didn't work out, baby girl. But it's okay. Something better will come." Layla hugged him tightly. "I believe in you, Daddy." Just then, his phone buzzed with an unknown number. He almost ignored it, but something made him pick up. "Mr. Johnson? This is Rebecca." Marcus blinked. "Rebecca? From the car this morning." "Yes," she said. her voice warm. I was hoping we could meet again. There's something important I'd like to talk to you about." Confused, Marcus agreed. The next day, Rebecca asked him to meet her downtown, at the top floor of a gleaming skyscraper. When Marcus walked in, his jaw dropped. Receptionists greeted Rebecca with respect. Suits and ties stepped aside as she entered. Marcus whispered, "Who are you?" Rebecca smiled gently. "I'm the CEO of Brightway Logistics, the very company you applied to yesterday." Marcus's knees nearly buckled. Rebecca led Marcus into her office, spacious, elegant, with a view of the entire city. "I looked into your application after yesterday," she began. "You were supposed to interview with us. You missed it because of me." Marcus stammered. I didn't want to mention it. I wasn't expecting anything. I just did what I thought was right." Rebecca studied him carefully. "That's exactly why I called you here. See, most people would have walked by, but you chose compassion over personal gain. That's rare. That's the kind of leadership I want in my company." Marcus's eyes widened. "Wait, are you saying?" Rebecca smiled. "I'd like to offer you the job. No interview. No second guessing. I've already seen who you are, and that's exactly the kind of man I want leading my team." Marcus was speechless. His mind raced with thoughts of Layla, of bills, of the future he had been praying for. He finally managed, "Are you sure?" Rebecca nodded. "Absolutely. And not just because you helped me, because you showed me what real integrity looks like." Tears welled in Marcus's eyes. For the first time in years, he felt hope. Weeks later, Marcus walked through the halls of Brightway Logistics, but this time, not as a visitor. He wore a crisp new suit, his ID badge clipped proudly to his jacket. Layla skipped alongside him, holding his hand. Rebecca had invited her too, saying, "She's part of this journey." Marcus couldn't stop smiling as employees greeted him, already respecting the new manager who had started his story in the most unusual way. At a company meeting, Rebecca introduced him to the team. "This is Marcus Johnson. He may have missed his interview, but he passed the greatest test of all character. He represents what this company stands for." The applause was thunderous. Marcus glanced at Layla, who beamed with pride. That night, as they sat down to dinner, Layla whispered, "Daddy, see? I told you something better would come." Marcus hugged her tightly. "You're right, baby girl. And remember this, sometimes when you help someone, you're really helping yourself." From that day forward, Marcus's life changed forever. Not because of luck, but because of a simple choice, to help a stranger in need. And that stranger? She turned out to be the key to a brighter future.